are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are Raw Break. And it's Wednesday, and it's time to talk about AEW Dynamite. You know, a show that was really promising this week, right? Why? Because we had a 1.3 million people that on Rampage that were excited about the return of CM Punk. Why did we get what we wanted? No. It was actually a pretty lame show. It was actually a show that, like, the card could have been a lot better. You know, the promos or the hype for, like, was going to be all out. You know, it was not good. And, you know, if you're going to be relying on CM Punk, on Phil Brooks, on Chick Magnet on it, I don't know. But, like, Daniel Bryan needs to come back really soon, really debut, because this show was not good at all. And you know what? Like, I don't know. I'm not happy with the outcome of everything. Paul.
I mean, again, I said it last night. I'll say it again. If I can just copy what you said and paste it right here in my own voice, that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, if you can't, CM Punk feels so special because we haven't seen him in how many years. He said he was done with wrestling, all that stuff. He came back. Oh, my God, it's true. You know, he's actually back. And to see him again, and then we're not going to see him on Friday, but if we see him again that following Wednesday, then it's like, how soon until he feels not special? You know, that's really the big thing here. And besides that, I mean, some matches I was looking forward to, but then in execution, not so much. So, yeah, kind of a letdown here on Dynamite. It
was a letdown. So thank you so very much to every single one of you. You guys are not a letdown because you're always there for us. You're always watching. Thank you for, like, a big week that we had. We're really appreciative of that, and you keep doing so. Please keep subscribing. You know, give comments. Let us know what you guys feel we can improve, or also, like, cover other things. And also, like, see, like, the NXT review we had, that was, you know, another show that is, like, kind of recyclable. Not a lot of, like, things were important here. The only thing is, like, Legado del Fantasma finally added a woman. Elektra Lopez finally is member of Legado del Fantasma, and they were able to beat Hit Row with with her help.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Other than that, which, you know, like you said, Carmen, Elektra Lopez, you know, whoever joining Legado is good. Right. But for me, it still doesn't make them legit. They still feel like a loser team, unfortunately. And besides that, the only really thing I feel you can look forward to on the show is just Samoa Joe. He's got a lot of challengers. We saw Tommaso Ciampa gave a little stare. Pete Dunne, you know, even though we don't like O'Reilly, he's a credible challenger as well. You know,
LA Knight.
Yeah, LA Knight. So lots of good stuff if they do it correctly. But otherwise, NXT.
Exactly. So just watch what we said, you know, every single thing, family. So let's get right to it because we have a lot of things to cover. This show started out with Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. This was not good because, like, Orange Cassidy at some point messed it up really bad. I think they said in a report that Mike Hardy might have a broken nose. But, like, you know, this started with this, you know, lack of seriousness. Really, like, okay, like, let's get the crowd hype, all of that. I mean, it's okay to an extent, but then, you know, when it comes to execution of the match, it takes away a lot of it. I mean, he got a little bit of money from it. That's good because he probably have a contract. He's not making enough money because he's been putting, like, really lame storylines lately. But, you know, like side effect, I like that. But then, you know, Paul, like, when he did the crossbody, he landed on Matt's face. And that ended up breaking the nose. Like, he was completely a blood mess. You know, like, it was just really bad. And in the end, you get to see he almost, like, pins him with his own move with the twist of fate. And, you know, this beautiful pinning combination where you got to love it. Right, Paul?
Well, yeah, because it looked like he was going for, like, either a figure four or a sharpshooter. He was setting it up. And then he just kind of awkwardly walked forward while holding Matt Hardy's legs. Sat down. It was a thing where it's like, are you telling me Matt couldn't have kicked out? Like, it was just, I think they didn't know what they wanted to do. And he's like, hey, I'm going to do this. And it was just really awkward. It was bad. You know, the beginning killed me with the hands in the pockets and the kick and everything. It got a little serious. It got a little better. Actually got into it a little bit. But then the ending killed me. And Matt Hardy, you know, between Sammy Guevara was killing him. Then here, probably a minor concussion if a whole guy's body hits you in the head enough to break your nose.
Thank God that maybe you were skinny.
Yeah, is it worth it going to WWE? You know, hopefully he don't seriously injure himself because I'm not trying to make a bad joke here, but he pops out kids like crazy. So it's like, are you going to be able to take care of these kids? You know, you got to think about that. You know.
No, yeah, you got to, like, be able to do that. And like I said, like, that wasn't too good, and the feud actually keeps going on. Not interesting enough. Malachi Black just got a good promo just saying that he's going to hurt the whole, you know, Nightmare family. He already hurt Cody. He's going to hurt Brock tonight. He's going to be Arn. He's going to be Dustin. Everybody that steps in his way. So, like, you see, like, the feud, pretty much he's just focusing on the Nightmare family for the now. We'll see what happens with him later on, but at least that's what the road that we have for him right now. So, you know, pretty normal, interesting promo.
I think they're just going to drag it out until Cody Rhodes returns. I think that's going to be
exactly. And it's not going to be all out, probably like Full Gear. You know, it's going to be towards the end of the year.
I'm sure Dustin's going to come back, and which that might be interesting if they actually build that for a couple weeks.
Yes, that will be a little better, and the match is going to be, you know, more interesting to anything. Let's hear from the Le Champion. This was not good also because, again, he lost to MJF. We don't have anything for him. He has to be featured in the pay-per-view. Okay. Let the guy, you know, let the guy enjoy the win. Let the guy ride that, you know, the hype of that win. No, he comes out, oh, it's in my head. And, you know, I'm a big fan of Le Champion. I have no problem saying it really out loud. I have no problem. But this is bad because let MJF, you know, go with that hype that he got from pinning Chris Jericho and actually make him tap out. That was like the main thing. No, I cannot beat MJF. I'm like, I need to ask him for one more match. And if I cannot pin you, then I'm going to go on commentary and I will not wrestle for AEW 1 ever again. So this was not good for me because, of course, you know what's going to happen, Paul. He's going to win. He's going to win.
And how can every time in MJF's career here in AEW where he gets legit momentum, and I'm not saying right now he has all the momentum, but there's a big win for beating Chris Jericho.
Yes, exactly. It's a big win.
He could beat somebody else, you know, another big name. Okay, then eventually, hey, you know, let's say they take the title off Omega and they want to put on somebody else that builds him up for it again, or even do him versus Omega if you don't want to do Hangman or whatever. But anyway, back to this. You know, he comes out and, you know, I love the shirt. And, you know, he goes,
that 3-0, yeah, he's good.
He says the same thing we say, pretty much, why are you obsessed with me? Can you just, like, can I do something else?
Yeah, can I
live? Yeah, can I
enjoy,
live, pretty much? You know, and he's just like, you know what, fine. Like, I accept the match. And then, like you said, Chris Jericho is just going to win. Unless Jericho is legit going to lose to him and then be like, okay, now I'm going to go on tour with Fozzy and I'll do commentary. And maybe he's going to take a little time off and maybe only come back for something big, something special. I really don't know. But I think if MJF loses here, which he most likely will, it's just bad booking.
Oh no, yeah. I don't know. Like you said, I just don't know what's the whole point of doing that. But like you said, like he's gonna he accepts that. He says that the best thing is just gonna be like that. He's gonna not only make him tap out, but he's actually gonna retire Chris Jericho. So that was the whole thing. I'm not interested about it. You know, there you go. We're going to go talk about like the Lucha Bros going against the Varsity Blondes. We get to see a promo from Brian Pillman, you know, Garrison or Gibson, you know, his name, Julia Hart. You know, there you go. Like, and I mean,
Garrison. Yeah.
The guys have a lot of potential. Yes. Do they have a future? Yes. Can they get better? Yes. But in this match with the Lucha Bros, they look completely, you know, out of place. They do not have the same style when it comes to wrestling to the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros is squeak. You know, it's like all like fancy moves, like flips, all of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a language barrier too. I can't imagine these two teams wrestled a lot. This might have been even the first time they wrestled. Maybe, you know, I'm sure you can count it on one hand how many times these two teams wrestled. Yeah, and you know the chemistry is just not there. You saw Penta would be in the corner. Garrison would stand there, and literally he was waving to him like a dog. Like, come attack me in the corner. Like, come here. Like, you know, and just spots, you know, with doing flips and stuff. It was awkward. They were waiting for stuff. I mean, I like the one thing where, like, I think Penta was on the floor or he took him out, and then Phoenix came in. It was like Phoenix was the only one who dove, and they hit some big move. That looked cool. And, I mean, I like the one spot where he kept trying to do the Cero Miedo to Pillman. And then he hit a super kick, and then he did it, and then Pillman hit a super kick of his own, like, fuck you and your little hand bullshit. But, I mean, otherwise, you know, I think the main story here is what you see right here. It's the Jurassic Express. They're going to win this whole thing. They're most likely going to win it all out. I think that's when you have to do it. Otherwise, the Jurassic Express are dead. You know, they're going to be like MJF, literally dead, no credibility at all.
And also, like you said, we actually got to see the Bucks. They brought chairs. Yeah. So, like you said, like this is the main thing.
Unfortunately, we got to see them. You know.
Exactly. Like, you know, this is like the main thing. And we're actually going to see them on Rampage. We're going to see, like, they're going to have the endings of, like, the finals of this, like, tournament. But, like you said, pretty much that's everything that's going to happen. Jurassic Express is going to go over. And then, you know, hopefully they beat up the Bucks. And then we get to see like a baby face, you know, like team going into it. So now let's go to the next one, Paul. And that is going to be, we're going to see like a promo. We're going to see a promo by Andrade and Neville or like, you know, Pac. And, you know, Cien Almas just showcasing the match that he's going to have at All Out. This is going to beat him. And it sucks to be, you know, like Pac. We said this last week because he's going to, like Andrade, he's going to win. You know, he just has the momentum. They're going to establish him as a credible heel, so that's what we have.
Yeah, I mean, I really see something screwy happening from this match. Normally, pay-per-views are where feuds end. I could see this feud being like an MJF Chris Jericho, where it continues after the big match at the pay-per-view. So I really don't know. I mean, unfortunately, like I've been saying, I think Pac is the better overall wrestler in every facet, talking, wrestling, you know, look. Maybe not, I mean, maybe, no, I would even say appeal. I would say a lot of people don't really like, you know, the appeal with Andrade was him and Zelina, not him and two other, you know, grown men.
No, yeah, especially with Chavo, yeah, it does not look appealing, but, you know, it is what it is. They're going to have that with that match with, like, you know, with Andrade, so we'll see what happens. You know, let's move and let's talk about, you know, Red Velvet going against the Hater. The Hater. The Hater. Help me out with the whole name, Paul.
I'm the Hater in this. I mean, Jamie Hayter is good.
There you go.
She's not a Charlotte Flair. She's not, you know what I mean? She's not like, you know, the most legit woman, but she's good. And, you know, she's brutal. And everyone's the move she hits them good. Like when she threw Red Velvet into the barricade and completely, like, that looked like it killed her. Like you're swatting a fly away. And, you know, she had the attitude. Red Velvet didn't. I thought when Red Velvet came to the ring smiling, I'm like, isn't this like a pretty angry feud already? Like this, you know, started off pretty hot, shouldn't she? Came to the ring, like attitude, looked pissed. So I'm like, oh, you know, let's see how this goes. And, you know, then, I mean, the most famous spot, do you have a picture of it, the moonsault? Do we have a picture?
No. No
picture? Well, then everybody, do yourself a favor. Watching right now, go on Twitter. You know, look up AEW botches or just Red Velvet, you know, hashtag Red Velvet, hashtag AEW, whatever on Twitter.
I promise
and you'll see it. Hater is laying there, you know, cold, dead on the ground, not moving. She's laying there. Red Velvet goes to do a standing moonsault, and like her chin don't even touch her. She completely misses her. And the commentators all like, and then Excalibur goes, oh, she missed the moonsault. Yeah, no shit. You know,
they have to acknowledge, right?
Because they did flip to a different camera angle. They showed that thing complete as day. Like, nope, you know, she didn't hit it.
Exactly. So like Jamie Hayter, like a big clothesline, like from hell, 1, 2, 3, she gets the win, and then you know, they got to see like most pose attack. You know, they always do that on AEW. They're always, that's one of the qualities. That's one of like the main things that they do. So Chris Statlander shows up. Why? Because she's the #1 contender to Britt Baker. Then she got an interaction, so Britt Baker just had to retrieve. You know, like we're going to be talking about a lot of matches on All Out.
Go back to the picture of Chris Statlander quick with Red Velvet. It's like, look at Red Velvet. I fucked up.
She knows she did.
I don't know. I was laughing so bad at that. And no, I'm not saying, you know, no offense to Red Velvet, you know, it happens, but to be on national TV, you know, probably almost 1 million people watching. So
it is. It is a little. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Like they need to deliver, and I mean, when they do these things,
the whole feud with Chris Statlander, she's another one who, you know, she might break your neck. She might break her own neck. You never know what's going to happen in a match with her. I mean, I think Britt Baker's going to go over. I think that's pretty safe to say. And, you know, I would have rather seen Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter first. I think that could have been a match. But you know,
because like they're kind of like similar build, like they have similar styles. So it would be a lot better. But like you said, like the main feud is going to be Thunder Rosa later on. So like they're saving it for like Full Gear or maybe like the first pay-per-view Revolution for next year. But like, I mean, Statlander is going to be another one that's going to fall off into like this. So we're going to see what happens with that. So there's problems in the Dark Order, Paul. You know, like they're talking about how, you know, Evil Moon is just kind of taking the spot of the leader. He's trying to be the leader, like the new person that guides the Dark Order. And then Reynolds, I think, is Alex Reynolds is their names. And, you know, he's the one that, like, actually steps up and he's like, dude, it's like, because of you, Adam Hammond Page left. That's why he's not with us anymore. And the other dude also, like, they both, so you suck. It's like, not because you have the name is Uno, that means that you're the leader. So you see a lot of issues, and it's good because, unfortunately, after Brody Lee, they need to split up. That's done. You know, like, they need to, find their own path.
This is the only thing I'm going to say is this is a perfect time for them to kind of be bickering and split. And then maybe a Wyndham Rotunda, you know, or a Bray Wyatt who comes in, you know, whatever name you want to call him, he comes in and brings them all together. That could be something. But like we said, you know, the only way to refresh them to make you kind of like forget that they're bullshit is to maybe split them up for a little bit. I mean, but I don't know. I would change the things, maybe not wear the stupid mask, maybe, you know, wear something a little different, but
yes,
you know,
it would be a lot better. Yes, I agree with you.
This is just, you know, so far it's just kind of like awkward, like
it's pretty, yeah, is you know, lame, is boring, and is not, and you know, and is pretty uninteresting. So that's what it is. Let's talk about, like you said, the main event, or like the big dish that we were waiting. It was just CM Punk. The first time that he shows up on AEW Dynamite, Tony Schiavone, like CM Punk spent around what 25 minutes talking about why did he return to professional wrestling, and the first question that he has is, why did you come back? So I'm like, are you fucking not seeing the show, or like did you just forget that what it was? And you know, well, CM Punk just like got a good promo, just saying, well, you know, Darby Allin, do I still have it? Am I still the best in the world? Am I still CM Punk? So he's trying to go within himself. Fine, if he still has what it takes to be like the wrestler that he used to be. Good promo on that. I mean, he did mention he name dropped Daniel Bryan, because like
the crowd was all chanting yes to everything he was saying. Like, am I still the best in the world? Do I still got it? Like we were saying, yes. And then he's like, oh no, wait, that's another guy. Be patient. So as soon as he says be patient, that means he's. Oh no,
he said he's like it's going to be a little bit, but he knows he's going to be debuting. I mean, good promo, and then showcasing the match. It's fine.
Yeah,
I feel like he did his job.
All the guys who he wants to fight. Do you notice how he didn't say Kenny Omega?
Nope, he said Jungle Boy. Yeah, he said
Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. Who else did he say?
Oh, he said the, you know, kind of newer guys. He didn't mention anybody like Boggs. Exactly. He didn't mention like Kenny Omega. No. He was always like you know, new guys. So it was good. And again, that's what he's going to do for the now. But like you mentioned, if they're going to keep relying to this every single week, it's going to get annoying. The pass that we have, at least it will be all out. Why? Because okay, like it's the first time he has a match. All right. Then we're going to see what happens with him next. But they're going to ride this cocktail for a long time.
I think they just, you know, people are still popping to see CM Punk and all this stuff. Like you said, they're doing it to sell seats, to sell tickets. And, you know, but I would have done this promo. Schiavone, you know, like you said, should have asked him, we know why you're here. We know who your challenger is at All Out. You know, boom, you know, ask about the match with Darby Allin. He could have cut a promo mostly talking about Darby Allin. Yeah. Like you said, it's just generic. And I feel like they're just going to overexpose CM Punk to the point where he feels like a Chris Jericho, where it's like, okay, yeah, you were a legend, you were legit, but we're sick of seeing you.
Yeah, I mean, it will be like they have to really take care of, like, be really careful how like they do it, how many shows he's in, how many appearances.
Because he can only he said he's only wrestling 10 to 12 matches a year, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's not going to be full time, so it's going to be like a very Brock Lesnar schedule, very similar, a little bit more maybe, but you know, good stuff on Phil Brooks. But like you said, very careful. You need to just not rely on him because the rest of the show really sucked. So, you know, Miro got a good promo. Like, he's actually seems like he's going to be feuding with Eddie Kingston. So that's different. And he mentioned, like, the wife also, because CM Punk name drop also AJ Lee. So, like, Miro has to do the same. So, Lana is going to be on it.
Well, Miro is technically doing it first.
Yeah, it's true, though. It is true. It is true. So, but, you know, at least, like, you see that they feud with Eddie Kingston. And that's at least believable.
Oh, it's not, and I think Eddie deserves it because he's been doing a lot of legit stuff. If you think about it, you know, really since coming here, he's been a name. He's always been associated with Moxley. He gets pushed legit, and I don't think Miro's going to drop it to him. No, but, you know, I think it's at least Eddie will give a legit, believable match.
No, it will be better. Exactly. You want to see Eddie? Yeah, we're going to see him, like, you know, against Benoni, against Avalon, about all of them, against, you know, Dolph Ziggler's brother, all of them. Name it. And then we had Darby Allin and Sting, and like once again, like, Kingston and Moxley. This was just awful. Yeah. Bad TV. I don't know why they missed this opportunity when they have so many casual fans to like see the show and become fans. No, they have to give like a really crappy card. Yeah, he starts biting people. That's great. You know, that's fine. And in the end, you know, Avalon, like they took him out. Darby Allin did like the coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. They are pinning one of like the jobbers over there. And then, of course, like you see this interaction, like Nemeth was going to like beat him. 2 guys, but with a chair, both of them kick his ass. And as soon as like he's Darby celebrating, Garcia one more time does an interference. Very typical of AEW. They never change the script for any single thing. And that's why Mike Chioda said, I would love to train the referees because they all suck. The only one that is actually legit is Audrey Edwards. And why? Because she's actually being trained by Chris Jericho and Jim Ross. And they know, they understand the logic of WWE, how they make us look good. You know, so like, I mean, we're not saying that that's better, but at least they have a better character. So there you go.
I mean, this match, I have no opinion on it. It sucked. I don't care about anything going into it, anything coming out of it. Like you said, waste of TV time. You telling me you couldn't have booked anything better?
Okay, exactly. So let's move on to the ones that like didn't make any sense. We're gonna have a casino battle round for all the girls. Thunder Rosa is gonna be there. Probably she's gonna get the win. You get to see a lot of big names. Or like in the women's division, take CONTI. You're gonna see Penelope. You're gonna see Diamante. Probably you see Kira Hogan, Julia Hart, the Bunny, and they're talking about this too. Also right here, they're actually. The Bunny was asking Tay Conti to join the Matt Hardy brand, and because I guess Tay is still associated with like the Dark Order, we don't know why, but like in the end, you know, they're gonna go at it. Why? Because we need a women's match on Rampage, right? That's why we do that. So we go in one segment so we can build on the other. Okay, very simple. Professional wrestling booking. So, I mean, does it make sense? No. Who cares? Move on. You talk about this one. Like, it seems to be that, like, there's rumors that FTR might be leaving AEW. They're not happy with the way that they're being portrayed. They're not happy about the way that they're being booked. So tell me a little bit about this promo that they said they might have one more match and then it will be done.
Yeah, I mean, it was good promo by them. Obviously, they're legit. To me, they're still the best tag team, in the world, I would say, because they can work a match with pretty much any style, and they still look good. They make their opponents look good. They understand wrestling, like how to tell the story to get the audience into their match. You feel the emotion, from both teams because they're good at telling that story. And, I saw they retweeted something with them holding the NXT belts and whatever. Like I said, they're a TV ad. They were doing the UCHA and all that bullshit. You remember with the Usos? But, like, the Usos were also looking like a bullshit team, too. If you think about it, they weren't looking legit. FTR, they were looking bad, too. But maybe they think, hey, at least, look how these teams are being used over there now. Maybe they're going back. Maybe they're going to Japan. Maybe going Ring of Honor. Who knows? But, and we also don't know how long their contracts were. I don't know.
Exactly. So it might be just a situation about the contract. Hey, we don't want to renew. We're not really happy here. We did what we could. We were champions at least once. That's it. NXT champions, SmackDown, Raw, now AEW, everywhere. They want to keep collecting titles. That's fine. Good on them. Tell me a little bit about this. Was like decent to an extent. Christian comes out, Don Callis, Kenny Omega. They have to have a promo. They have to have. This is going to be the main match. This is going to be their main match for the AEW Championship. The match is not going to, title's not going to change hands, but I like the video package. We get to see like a really young Don Callis. We get to see Christian Cage, really young also. And they said about Kenny Omega that when he was 10, Callis already saw the future. I mean, good. I mean, I like kind of like the story and everything, but I like when Don Callis actually name dropped Vince McMahon. So that was cool. What do you think about the whole promo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like seeing all these stooges out there. That also is what really kills it. Like you said, Kenny Omega just cutting a promo on his own is at least tolerable. Sometimes he says good stuff, and you're like, okay, I can kind of believe it. But when you have Don Callis out there, doesn't he look like a giant, like penis or something? Like he's just like pink suit, bald head. Like I'm like,
oh yeah, it's completely overexposed.
I'm like, this guy looks like a clown. Like, look at him. And then everybody else just, I mean, they all look like
Nakazawa. Yeah, it's not good. It's just not good. It's just not good. And like you said, I mean, the one thing, like he also said, you're going to be on with second best. And that's really your whole career creation. That turned out to be, of course, into like a, brawl. That's what always happens. And then we got to see Frankie Kazarian making the save. And, we got to see, of course, what did I say about Tay Conti and the Bunny?
Yeah, this is worse. This is worse than anything.
There you go.
Because we have to see Brandon Cutler wrestle.
Brandon Cutler, like in Kenny Omega against Christian Cage and Kazarian, so you get to see that like the baby faces are gonna probably get the win. Why? Because that's how they're gonna do it, and we gotta love Dynamite for that. Pretty lame segment, because of the end of it. I mean, Kazarian should be the one even challenging Kenny Omega. Why not Kazarian? Isn't he a good wrestler? Isn't he had like the talent, like the years and everything? I don't know. This is also bad because Jon Moxley just. He got a good promo, though. I'm not saying Jon Moxley is terrible, but he's going to go against Kojima, and we saw Kojima already. He already fought Kojima for the United States Championship, and he beat him. The one thing is, like, remember what I said last week. They're not going to do Tanahashi because Tanahashi is not going to drop the title anytime soon, so they gave Kojima. So probably Moxley within himself, he's pissed. Like, so...
Yeah, like I said, I was just like, okay. Like you said, the same thing. It's, I really don't know. I don't know if this is worthy of the pay-per-view. But
yeah, he needs to have it. He needs to be there. So That's why they did it. So we're going to see the Bargon and the team against, you know, QT, Camarado, and also Solo. Why? Because the Big Show, or Paul White, is going to have that match with QT Marshall. This was just also bad. The one thing is, like, isn't like bad that Billy at his age looked more like intimidating than Camarado? Isn't bad that like Billy looks in better shape than all of them? You know, just for me, you know, maybe I'm just a mark for Billy, but the Big Show like with on commentary. You know, commentary, and then, you know, that actually caused a distraction from QT Marshall, and then actually the guys from, like, you know, the Bargon, like the whole team get the win. QT Marshall, so he sucks, and, you know, 5-6 minutes of awful television right there for you, Paul. Yep, yep, that's what it is.
That's all there is.
Tell me a little bit about this legit promo by Dan Lambert, not Adam Lambert, Dan Lambert. And I mean, he showcased legit, you know, the stuff that he says is really good. It's actually on point. It's very credible. It's the truth. Unfortunately, being like side by side with like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, so he doesn't back it up, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the promo was good. Obviously, he made fun of all the fans. He's like, oh, you're all sensitive. You all want to be in your little safe space where you can cheer your little teenage boys. You know, they look like school children in the ring. They're not real grown men. You know, they're not badasses here like Scorpio Sky, who's an MMA fighter, and Ethan Page, who has 2 black belts. You know, they're real men. They're badass, you know. He's just like, you know what, you want to cheer for, you know, losers in face pain, and, you know, you want to cry in the crowd like an idiot for somebody who didn't wrestle for 7 years. So taking a shot at that fan that the camera focused on.
Yes.
Who Tommy Dreamer is giving him tickets or something. That's I'll hold my tongue on that, my opinion on that. But, you know, I mean, it was a good promo. I think this guy gets a lot of heat with the AEW diehards. So, you know, I mean, he's doing his job, but the thing is, is he going to go over, or is he just going to talk a good game when they wrestle a match? You know, those 2 lose, and then then
done, exactly. So let's talk about just matches that we're going to see, you know, in pain. We already mentioned mostly Rampage, but like next week on AEW Dynamite, Brian Cage and Power Hobbs, and you know, like a Hook like looks like or Red. He looks really bad here. He looks like a child.
Yeah, it's Hook. It's not Red.
It's Hook. It's just Hook. See, I said it right the first time. So Hook, like, he looks like really, you know, like
Red.
What the hell? Like Red Foreman, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what are we?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you know, like, look at this. I mean, this is gonna have a match. Pretty, like, why is the storyline is still going on? I mean, and that one, I gotta ask the same question: Orange Cassidy against Jack Evans. If you beat the main guy of like a team or like the group, you shouldn't beat the other guys the weeks after. He's like, I beat the main dude. I already beat everybody, right?
Yeah, this is just to put Orange Cassidy on TV every single week because he's Tony Khan's favorite wrestler and because apparently the crowd eats him alive.
Yes, exactly. So, like, you know, next match, FTR, Santana, ORTIZ, is this going to be their last match? We'll find out. I mean, hopefully this is the end of the feud because as good as it was, now is becoming as tiring as his kids could be. So, like,
you know, it's not even like, you know, they're not in the... See, they could have had this feud, but then it'd been in each bracket of this tag team eliminator thing for the, you know, to be #1 contenders, and this should be the finals. You know what I mean? This should be the finals to be the #1 contender, not a feud for nothing. So that kind of sucks, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. So, like, next week also, like, interview with Chris Jericho. And also, like, Jim Ross is going to do Jericho. And then we're going to see MJF being interviewed by Tony Schiavone. They're just showcasing the match that's going to happen then last week. Because this is going to be the last Dynamite before, like, All Out. So, I mean, you know, they have to have these promos. Oh, are you going to lose? Are you going to be legit? So, like, you know, final fight. Hopefully, after 4 times. At least Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were 3, I think. Yeah. So, like, this is 4. So this has to be the undisputed finale. So hopefully that's what it is. So now tell me a little bit about the main event, Malachi Black against Brock Anderson. And we got a promo by Arn. Well, you know, he's an Anderson, right? So like Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson, you know, all of them. So we're all part of the Andersons. And if he loses in 2 minutes, it's fine. Yeah, you know, we get paid. It's all good. So like tell me a little bit about the match as I switch the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, the match, I mean, the awesome entrance from Malachi Black. I mean, the match pretty much went how you thought it was going to go. You know, it was quick. You know, it's like, okay, what's this kid going to do? But when the bell rings, there's only 4 minutes late. It's 9:56. So, you know, we don't have much time here. And, you know, that was pretty much nothing. You know, he takes him out. He stares at, you know, Black Mass, stares at Arn, pins him 1, 2, 3. And, you know, then, you know, Arn comes in. I didn't like how he blocked the kick.
That's something I was going to ask you because it's like, does he completely kill the kick or no?
I mean, only because Arn didn't sell his arm. if Arn would have sold the arm, like, oh my God, he like completely destroyed my arm, and then he kicked him in the head when he sold the arm, then that I would have been okay.
But it reminded me, like, you know, Paul, when you play like a game, you know, like a fighting game, and then you just do a move and you're just like covering. It's like those. It's like, you know, and then just like takes away like this little bit of your life, you know, like that. Okay. And then you keep hitting and nothing happens. So that's what it is. Look, this is legit Street Fighter right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Ryu's doing a kick and then Arn like blocks it.
Yep. Yeah, so I didn't like that because he didn't sell the arm, but then boom, you know, then he kicked. Unless he's selling the arm there and we couldn't see it because of the belly, you know, I don't know, but you know, boom, then he kicks him in the head, so Arn's done. And then I thought, you know, I honestly thought he should have just knocked out Brock and just went up the ramp and just stared at Arn. You know, why take out Arn? Then he goes to get the chair. Then we see, who is it? Shoddy Lee?
Yeah.
Or who was it? Yeah. He comes in. It's like, okay, so we know his next match. He's going to take out Shoddy Lee. You're telling me you couldn't have just had Shoddy Lee cut a promo, you know, or something, or you know, Malachi Black. He was just naming all these guys. He wanted to go through all these guys and challenge them. He should have just called out Shoddy Lee then and just kept.
You're next from the not Goldberg, but you're next. Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, like you said, this, especially if that's the main event, I'm sorry, no, thank you. I'm sorry, but you know, any other company will put something different than that. I'm just saying, you know, maybe Miro could have been the main event defending against somebody, you know, something. But I mean, this was like pretty. Again, I think that like they just like they're relying a lot of CM Punk, and it's bad because like they need to keep building. CM Punk needs to be the catalyst, and then around him build stuff. So that way, I'm not only waiting for CM Punk's segment. I want to see everything else, and CM Punk is always the cherry on top. But that's what we have, family. A pretty, you know, forgetful AEW Dynamite. So thank you to every single one of you for watching. You know, tomorrow, don't forget, NXT UK with Jean Paul this time. I'm going to take a leave of absence. I'm going to be, you know, somewhere else. I'm going to be watching a lot of some garbage. You know, I like a lot of garbage, so it's fine. Don't judge. But, you know, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also hit the video a like so more people are exposed to the original Rope Break. And where else, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
So you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...